Francis?
Yes.
Ashok Kumar? Yeah, let us start. A very good day to all the participants around the globe.
Good
This
evening.
is the fourth Inter-Society Weekly Webinar Series. Talk number 4. Please mute yourself and please switch off your video. At the end of the talk may last for 45 minutes. At the end of the talk, the questions will be answered by the speaker, so Francis EJ. The questions can be typed as chat in the chat box, which I will read out, for which Francis EJ will be replying. My name is Harindra Lal. I am the chair of the IEEE Inter-Society Activities Committee. Over to Dr. T.A. Krishnakumar from the PMI to give the welcome address. Krishnakumar?
Hi, hope I'm audible now.
Yeah.
Hi all, good morning and good afternoon. Thank you Harindra Lal for the start, and I'm Krishna Kumar, President of PMI Kerala chapter. As you are aware, 7 societies joined together in conducting a series of webinars during this COVID-19 situation for the members to update their knowledge. We have experts from all parts of the world sharing a lot of knowledge here. And this is the 4th session, and we are conducting this series of knowledge pack sessions throughout consistently over the weeks. The key societies that are collaborating are IEEE Kerala section, Institute of Engineers India Kerala State Center, Internet Society of India Trivandrum chapter, Computer Society of India Trivandrum chapter, Vaikam Maulavi Foundation Trust Trivandrum, IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biotechnology Society Kerala chapter, and Project Management Institute Kerala chapter. These are the societies which are joined, collaborated together to give maximum knowledge to all their members and aspirants. The webinar today is an innovative design thinking for non-designers. This is a very new and an interesting concept, and which is putting customer as a first. The session will be taken by Francis EJ, the former Group Director of VSSC ISRO, having profound experience in the management. Ashok Kumar, the Secretary of Institute of Engineers, will be introducing the speaker. Harindra Lal, the Chair for Inter-Chapter Collaboration, Inter-Society Collaboration, will be the moderator of this session, and he will be collating all the questions and coordinate with the speaker and getting you the answers. Sumod Sundar, the CSI MC member, will be delivering the vote of thanks as well. I would like to welcome all these esteemed delegates on behalf of all our societies and all of us. Thank you for making this thing happen. The most important guest in this webinar is each one of you who have taken time in joining this conference from the different parts of the world for acquiring new knowledge. I would like to welcome you to this great webinar. And with this, I'm inviting Ashok Kumar, the Secretary of Institute of Engineers, to introduce the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashok Kumar, the Honorary Secretary of IEI Kerala State Center. Let me introduce the speaker of the day, Engineer EJ Francis, to you. Engineer Francis EJ is former Group Director of the Composites Quality Control Group and the former Deputy Project Director of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle and Reusable Launch Vehicles in the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center of ISRO, Government of India. He holds BSc Engineering degree and Masters in Business Administration. He has 4 decades of experience in product design, product and process quality control, as well as project management. Presently, he is a trainer and mentor in strategic innovation, design thinking, and quality management. Today, Engineer Francis is discussing with us on innovative design thinking for non-designers. I welcome Engineer Francis and each one of you to this talk and also request Engineer Francis to present the topic of the day to us. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Francis.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar, for wonderful introduction. I also thank Dr. Krishna Kumar for introducing the talk. Also, I am thankful to Sri Harindra Lal, who introduced to this forum. And also, I thank all the participating professional organizations, seven of them. So I express my sincere thanks to all of them. And I also appreciate the number of delegates. 69 participants are there. I welcome, and now 71. I think more people are joining. Wonderful. So, first question, why I am here, or why all of us are here? It's a funny situation, no? It is COVID. So if COVID was not there, I don't think I will be addressing all of you in this type of forum, because last month I attended one webinar by our Kerala State Entrepreneurs Mission. It's called Startup Mission. So they were doing a webinar. So they were all discussing what will happen to business, what will happen to startup missions. A lot of startups they have started, but their future they were worried. How many will be closed? What all things will happen? They are really worried. Financial, managerial. Then I told them, okay, we are having a lot of worries. What are the new opportunities coming due to COVID? Then all of them started thinking different ways. Lot of new ideas they brought out. So I think this is, apart from lot of bad effects, there are also some good effects of this COVID. So I will continue my topic. So as you know, the heading, it is innovative design thinking for non-designers. Now design thinking, I think most of our people are aware, all designers, most of the engineers are doing design either by designation or even without designating. Engineers work is mainly design. So I need not, it is to non-designers, what all non-design thinking. That is why it is named like that. And also the important part of innovation, how it is used. So I will go to the next slide. This is the outline what I will be presenting. I think the time is available only 45 minutes. So I had tough time to edit a lot of things. I will try to finish in maybe 35-40 minutes so that we will have more time for discussion, because that will be more useful. I am going to learn more from all of you by asking questions rather than I am telling to all of you. All people here are highly knowledgeable and practicing engineers or some other profession. So this will be the brief outline, what I will be covering. Left side, I have put the picture, what is that? Corona and a man thinking and an apple falling down. This gives the pictorial presentation, what I am going to present. Now, I myself is not a big expert, but for this presentation, I have gone through a lot of documents. So this is the list I have put here. So if anybody is interested in learning more about this topic, they can go through these references and much more. It is a very popular topic now, whole world. And after COVID, I am seeing that number of universities and innovation centers all over the world, the major innovation centers, they have started around hundreds of new startups and new ideas. It is triggered by COVID alone. So that is the power of design thinking. All are applying design principle, also innovation. That is the power of this tool. Now, to start with, I will give a brief introduction on that. I will not spend much time on that. I will show only 2 slides only on the introduction part. So what is the background? See, this is not a new idea. Somehow only, I also came to know only 2-3 years. Probably you would have heard it little time back. But it has happened, these ideas emerged between 1950 to 1965. So it is a merger of creativity and new design methods, and how it is applied to problem solving by design thinking principles. That is the topic. And there are a number of authors related to that. The first authors were in 1959 and 1965. So this is the period where it has developed actually. But probably after some time, it has not gone into a hibernation period. It was not very popular after that. But now recently, from 2000 onwards, it is becoming highly active. Most of the universities, top universities, give a lot of programs on the design thinking combined with innovation, because they have found the merit of the advantages of the process. They conduct full-time courses. They also conduct 5-day workshops, and that is what is happening. And I was fortunate to attend some of the workshops and seminars when I was in Toronto for almost 1 year. It was a luck for me. So some of that experience also I can share with you at the end during case studies. So now, what is the innovative design thinking? You may be already knowing design thinking, all of you know. Now, what is innovation coming into picture? So what is it? So it is a combination of innovation and design thinking skills for value addition. Value addition really happens by solving problems. So it is a value addition to the society is the main thrust given by this method. And the attraction is that it is a simple process. Actually, right from a college student or even sometimes school student can understand and follow it. But it can solve very complex issues. So that is the attraction of this method. A school child may be solving smaller problem, but a very experienced person, you can use same process for solving complex issues. That is the attractiveness of this method. And the first and foremost direction in the respect for people. We have to respect the people, not only customer, every people we have to respect. That is the main theme or main first principle of design thinking. And it uses multidisciplinary teams usually, then only it will become effective. It uses multiple thinking processes. So what are some of the thinking processes involved in the design thinking? I will not go into details because all of you will be knowing this, and that is not the scope of this presentation. It gives only a glimpse what all what all thinking processes are involved in the design thinking technique. You may not use all the techniques always, but sometime or other, you will be using definitely some of these, a combination of these thinking process. In addition to that, some other thinking process also may come, depending on the complexity of the problem. Now, am I audible to all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, why innovative thinking? That is the question, since we are going to talk on this topic, why it is required. Some glimpses I have given earlier. I will give you a small list. I will not explain all. As I told already, it is a simple process and methods are used for that. It solves complex social and cultural issues. So such challenges can be taken care by this method. It is applied in health sector, education sector, food sector, water management, climate control or climate management, which is a big issue now. Now COVID has helped us to bring down the climate issues. Here now the pollution has come down to has reduced by 70%. That is the people are telling like that. So COVID, another positive side is that climate change is we are actually rectifying. So probably we have to learn many things, but it is applied in a very complex situations. You can apply this method, and problems affecting diverse groups, irrespective of religion, race, nation, diverse groups problems can be addressed. And there are certain problems you cannot solve by mathematical equations or data. That mainly engineers will be handling data and engineering problem solving. There are definitely some problems in social environment, social society, etc., which data alone, that quantitative data cannot solve. There this can be used. It is told complex problems and wicked problems. Wicked problems also can be solved. Complex problem and wicked problem is there when you are having a problem. And also you have got a number of thinking processes. Suppose you have got 100 people, each one of them have got a different thinking process or a different thinking framework. So this will make some problems very complex, especially social issues, health issues, education issues. If you attend seminars in that field, you will see that you will be spending 1 year, 2 year, 1 day, 2 day full seminar. Then they come out with zero result because they know the problems, they understand problem, they find that it is beyond all our capability to solve it. So we get desperate. So these are the areas where we can really use the design thinking process, combining innovation. It improves quality of life and it uses new technology. How to use new technology very effectively for improving the quality of life. But you will see in the society now, high technology or new technologies are used in society. Giving your counterproductive computer, no core banking system, you can go there, you can do your job in 15 minutes and come. But nowadays, if you go to bank, they will tell system is down. You have to wait half day. Sometimes they will tell you come next day. So these type of problems are coming. So that is because they are not really applying design thinking process. They apply technology where it is required. In banking sector, many sector, it is required. But what is happening, because it is not properly implemented, proper thinking is not done, the same technology works against us. And if any government office records you go, you will find similar problems. Of course, I will not go into all these details. We will not cover it. And in addition to that, it boosts in entrepreneurship and business. So I have seen in Toronto, almost all entrepreneurship centers and innovation centers, they give courses on design thinking. So this is something we can learn from other countries. Now I think Kerala also started, universities and they have started design thinking and innovation training programs. Because 2-3 years back, I have given a proposal to many government bodies for conducting these type of programs. All of them denied. They told it is not required. See, the startup mission says they don't want it. It is not required. Innovation is not required. And our own strategic, we have got a innovation council, sir. They also told it is not required they are not interested at least. But I think now things are changing. People are going to take more interest in that. More awareness coming, more understanding is coming. It is a good thing for Kerala. It is also a good thing for India. Now we will get into, since we told it is innovative design thinking, first I will telling 2 slides about innovation, another 2 slides on design, then we will get into design thinking process. So what is innovation? All of us know. If you ask people, you will get 200 definitions. If you go to internet, you will get more than 100 definitions in the internet itself. So I will tell some definition which is simple, what I have located in literature. These are the 2 things. It is a process of creating value. It is also connected with design thinking. When you told about introduction design thinking, I told it is creating value. That is very, very important keyword in that. By applying novel solutions, there only the innovation comes. You can use traditional techniques. Definitely, it is nothing wrong in that. Many times traditional techniques works well, but then you don't call it innovative. Once you tell innovation, you will be using definitely a novel solution. Then it becomes innovative design thinking or innovative process. And definitely you apply to meaningful problems in a meaningful way. That problem gets solved once and for all people. That is the importance of innovation. And another way of defining in business world, in the society and design world is the first definition. But when you come to design in the business world, it has got slightly different meaning, but concept is same. It covers, it brings out a new design business models itself, so that a company can thrive or a company can develop. And it is the and the existing environment it can change, and it gives better products, processes, services. Thereby, a company can survive and make profit or make benefits. So these are the two ways. In a short way, we can say how it works. But the innovation can be applied in many other fields. There is a big list, but today we will not cover any of these things. We don't have time. So we'll continue. That why innovative thinking? There are two statements. Henry Ford. Henry Ford very well. Steve Jobs. These are the two famous examples. They have brought out the world a lot of changes because of their products and services. I give two quotes from them. See, when you are telling about the customer, so they have given a very drastic statement. Design thinking always starts with customer. As the Dr. Krishna Kumar was telling in the introduction, the focus on customer. Definitely it is important. You have to do market survey. You should study the customer. That is the starting point of all design thinking process. But you see, great people think they're also differently. See, they break all the rules. Henry Ford is telling, if I had asked people what they wanted before he invented car, they would have asked for faster horses because they were not knowing a car is there. What is car? There is no such concept. So if you ask people what they want a faster horses. They cannot think beyond that. So what Henry Ford is telling, innovation is important because of that. There are many things which customer doesn't know. You have to definitely take the feedback or information from customer. But you should not stop with that. You should innovate so that you are giving much better than what customer asks you. So that is why the innovative design thinking is important. Similar statement is made by Steve Jobs also. See, many times customers don't know what they want until we show it to them. So that is the classic. His all his products you can see, because Henry Ford is old thing. Now we are having so many variations, improvements in car. But the Steve Jobs very recently, or even his company still is doing that. The surprising products he bring out. That is why the midnight of the launch of his new product, there is a big queue all over the world for getting that product first. In Kerala, we are experiencing where we see queue. We see only in beverages. But in foreign countries for iPhone or his Apple product, first release day, you will see a huge queue midnight onwards. So how he is able to achieve? Because he is applying innovation. There are two examples. I think I will skip the case study I will give at the end. If I give any example now, he may not meet the schedule. I will continue with another aspect, another example I will give you. Innovative people break all the rules within legal ethical bounds. I told earlier, the great people, innovative people break the rules. Otherwise, they cannot be innovative. But you have to be very careful. They should be within the legal ethical bounds. Once you break that, you will have a big calamity in the whole society. So that you have to be careful. Another big example I will give you here. Tim Horton. Some of you may be aware, those who have gone to America or Canada, many European countries. See, this is actually a coffee outlet. And now it is Canada's largest food restaurant chain. It has got 4,932 outlets in 14 countries. And its revenue last year was more than $3 billion. So this is a huge setup they have made. But 1964 it has started with one branch. So how it is started, you see the left side hockey player. His name is Tim Horton. It is not his picture. I have put a cartoon thing only because I cannot put his picture without his permission. So he was a hockey player. So how we came to this? See, he has to travel from Canada, US, many number of times, sometimes midnight. And he gets tired, he is looking for a coffee. He don't find any, at that time, 1964, he cannot get any coffee outlets. Many people were suffering, but that he was not knowing. But he himself felt it very bad, very bad. He is not able to get a cup of coffee midnight. So he started thinking, starting a coffee kiosk. He started a small kiosk. At that time, name was different. But by 2019, it has grown to such a big extent. So here, the customer, we are telling design thinking, customer thinking, you yourself can be the customer source. A problem you face that you can convert into a big business and you solve a big problem for a whole society. So he solved the problem of people, large number of people first traveling from America and from Canada to and fro. Then it has grown to all over world. It is having so many branches. But India, I searched, I found only one Tim Horton, but that is a unethical one. It is a duplicate. Either they have changed the spelling or something. That has nothing to do with the original. Somewhere in the India there is a one this thing. But that is the thing. We should not do anything unethical. You buy a franchisee from him. Otherwise, we should start in some other name, not in similar to his name. So these are some of the lessons we can learn from others. Now, what is design? One or two slides only I will show. All of us know engineers, and the non-engineers also do design without their own knowledge. If you go into the design and the definition, basic definition, it will be very clear. All of us are designers. We have done design. It is the process of converting customer needs to a set of specifications to create a suitable product, process, service, or system. The definition is so simple. This may be doing, we may be doing at our home. We don't know. Once you go back to our home, if we analyze, you will be seeing family, every family member may be doing some part of design within their family itself. They may be doing their design in their career. And as engineers, all of us do, every day this is our job. Now, even though the definition is too simple, but certain things you have to understand. Of course, I need not explain this to engineers. This explanation is mainly for non-engineers, if anybody is there in this group. So first we should study who is the customer. So who is the customer? Understanding customer is the biggest challenge. Many of us don't know really who is a customer. Unless you are in a business, many other people don't know who is their customer. If you go to government office, you ask them who is your customer. I don't know whether they can really answer. If you go home, ask in your house, who is your customer? It's difficult. You have to think. And next level is stakeholder. See, the difference between customer and stakeholder is slightly different. I think in this forum I need not explain what is the difference. All of us know what is customer and stakeholder. I will go to the specification. Specification is another simple definition, but if we get into details, I know many designers are there in this forum. They all know it, but I will give a simple list. It's got a big list of items you have to specify when you do a proper design. Starting from target specification, configuration, how you process, production, service, quality, how you test it. Finally, you come to disposal spec. Even disposal spec a designer has to make. If it is not made, we are going to have a big problem. That is, most of our environmental problems are because designer doesn't scientifically specify the disposals and make arrangement for that. Either designer fails or they fail to communicate to the customer how this is to be handled, to the customer and society. Now, most of our environmental problems are due to this disposal spec is not conveyed properly to the society and customer. Now things are changing, people are working in that aspect because a lot of importance is given to sustainability and environment, and things are improving. So because that is another topic which is called sustainable design. That is another interesting topic. Maybe some other time we can adjust to that. Today we will not talk about that. But this is coming from the disposal spec. Another big branch of design is that of sustainable design. Now there are other things also to be specified. Your life, you have to be specified, product life, reliability, etc. I will not go read through all these things. And finally, what I have marked the green thing, that is mainly focused to the sustainability and environmental issues. Green last 5 lines. There are many more things. I will not go into that. So I will proceed further. If anybody has got any question, you can put in the chat box. Maybe I will try to answer that at the end. If I cannot answer, some of the experts sitting here They will answer you, don't worry. Now the last two columns are generally called design for X. Most of our people know what is design for X. It contains what is listed here plus 10 things more. Now another cartoon I will show you. So you can just go through this, try to understand what is it. It's very simple. There is a robust designer. His area is packaging design. He has come out with a wonderful design. Now, can you tell what is missing here? What design spec was missing here because of this result happened? Because that package no customer can open. It's so strong. So, can you tell which design spec we missed in this? Okay, we can see later because this is a webinar. The active interaction is very difficult. Probably we will discuss at the end. So according to me, what is that in the previous list I showed, I did not tell you one word, one spec. That is the user spec, usage spec. I did not give in the list. So this fellow missed that. User spec is not there. How user will use it, how customer will use it. That spec is also important. I had not given in the list I have shown earlier. Like that, many other things. I cannot give all the specs. So I'm telling the word spec specification. It means many things. Depending on the product, it will change. Product to product, product to service, it will change. But the word specification means many things. So as a designer, all of us know how it is important. Now we will go into design thinking now. So what is design thinking? Again, I think some of the elements are already explained. We will not explain it too much. It is a strategic process. It is a set of strategic processes by which design concepts are developed and validated. Validation is an important aspect of design thinking. We'll come to that later into details. And innovation of products and services within business and social context. So it has got a design concept, it has got a social domain, it has got a business domain. All areas are important. Now here there is another quote. I think you will skip this. We don't have much time left. We have got another 10 minutes only, you know. So we will continue further. What is this design thinking process? We will get into that. That is the main theme today. It is, as I told earlier, it is a very simple step. Many of you will be knowing. Start with empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. All engineers know it. So what is empathize? This is linking with customer, understand the customer needs, what are the problems with customer, and what all things we wish. Understanding this aspect is called empathize. Then you should understand. So that is, you should go on questioning the needs and come to understand more about it so that you will be able to define the problem. You have to define a problem by more understanding the customer. Then only you can go to further steps. Then you have to ideate. That is the general. It is a creative session or to make number of ideas to solve the problem. This is the ideation, or a mainly number of creative techniques are used here. And after this stage, you get the number of solutions, select a solution, then you should not implement it. Here is the main difference between scientists, engineers, and other people. You have to prototype and test it. It's very important. All engineers do it. Scientists also do it. But many people in other fields, they forget the prototyping and testing. You see the government system or social issue addressing people. This concept, sometimes people miss it. They'll get into problem. And also in design scientific area, it is easy to prototype and test. But in social and economic domains, it is difficult to prototype and test it also. And there are more than 20 techniques in each of these steps. You cannot go to all these methods. So you have to build a proto and test it, verify it. Now, feedback is also important. You have to take feedback from all these stages and feed into the earlier stages so that it is a highly iterative process so that you go on improving. Each cycle you go on improving, and the product has to be highly useful to the customer, then only you launch it. So this is the whole concept of the design thinking. Here this is put as a Same concept is put as a mind map. Mind map is one of the tools used in design thinking. That is why I am showing here. It is the same concept shown in earlier, the previous slide, but it is put in a mind map format, which is sometimes, many times used in the design thinking process. That I am using this. See, here I am giving some of the approaches and tools for each of the steps. Of course, I will not go into details. All of you know what is it. If anybody has got any doubt on any of these points, you can note down and put in the chat box. Probably at the end, I will try to answer it. So we'll go to further. We are all worried about Corona. Then, as I told, number of ideas are coming out. Many products, services, and they see medical teams are working, biomedical engineering teams are working, social scientists are working in this field, the economists are working. So many problems, so many innovations are taking place. We will get these results maybe 2-3 months. A number of products and services will come out, which is a very emerging field. You can see how Kerala handled it, how design thinking, how Kerala has applied, or maybe India. Let us not differentiate between Kerala and India. We will combinedly address. See, in the COVID situation, how empathize we have used, we can analyze. You will see, we heard about this problem maybe January end or something, January, February period. But and we are the India and Kerala are the first. We got the first affected parties, mainly medical students and very few tourists. But mostly we got medical students and coming from China. Even though they were the victims, I will consider them as a customers in this scenario, because we got lot of information from them. The medical teams from India, Delhi and Kerala, we got lot of information from them, especially being medical students. They were able to communicate the complexity and what all things they were doing there, what doctors were doing, what hospitals were doing. It was a very good advantage for Kerala and India. So I think our people have done a very good empathize step there. That is why we had entered into a big first lockdown, and we have done lockdown compared to many other countries. And we have done many other very vital and useful steps in India and Kerala, especially our teams, various teams. I don't know what all teams interviewed them. Maybe social scientists would have interacted, maybe doctors, definitely. So all these things that empathize step India and Kerala done very, very nicely, and it is giving us results. Because we know Kerala is one of the best area in the world. World itself is looking us as an example. But let us continue the effort and come to a big success. Now define. Definitely they have defined the problem. They have understood the customer. They have defined. That is why we are able to handle the issue. And they have ideated. They have come out with a number of protocols, number of procedures. And doctors, I understand in Kerala and India, they are trying new medication combinations. Maybe all over the world, they have difficulty in handling that situation because their medical protocols are so strict. They have no scope for experimentation. So I think Kerala and India is doing novel methods. I think we will get the results maybe 1 or 2 months time. We can offer many new things to the world. So when you are coming to prototype, okay. Very, very important, curious observation I made, you also must have made. Where we apply prototype in the Corona fighting case. Modi declared one day lockdown. I consider this the best example of prototyping. He did not announce the 1 month lockdown first. He did a prototype test, that is with 1 day lockdown, prototype test, one day lockdown. See, that is a tool for that prototype. You could understand what are the problems people are facing, business is facing, transportation is facing, in various sectors problems. We could get a picture. Of course, 1 day prototype was not adequate. That I will tell you. Probably would have done for 2-3 days and would have observed more. But we are facing a very high crisis situation. We cannot blame anybody for doing 1 day lockdown. But I will tell it is an excellent step. It's an excellent example of applying prototype in a very complex situation. The biomedical field, social, economic, many things are involved. And definitely testing of this thing, it is continuing. So I am giving a first glimpse of what has happened is to demonstrate the power of design thinking. Our people have applied it without even knowing the name of design thinking. So probably we should sharpen our tools. We will be able to apply design things in more areas and with more expertise. So our future performance in India and Kerala is going to be much better. So this is some of the fallouts. Number of medical areas, so many personal protection devices have come out. I will not go into details. These are some of the things are already available. Now more ideas coming out. So you will see personal hygiene. See, India can offer definitely Namaste. Now I have seen in TV, our Prince Charles, I forgot his name. He was giving Namaste first time. He was refusing to shake hands. Now the world will follow our good system India were following, but India also has to learn. Historically we are learning with the hands. Probably we have to learn from others also. See, we have to be proud of our own system. At the same time, we should be willing to learn good things from others. We should not be too much egoistic. India is having good tradition, good systems. It's good. We should be proud of that. At the same time, we should learn good things from others. There are other number of the protection devices. Some are already there. Some are emerging. I will not go into details. You can go to net. All these details are available. Much more. You will see hundreds of new things are come out. Every day, new things are coming. So innovative design thinking. We are coming to almost end of my lecture. Maybe a sum up. So some foresight is required in design thinking, especially when you are talking about business sector. You should, they call it, experts call it desirability, feasibility, viability, sustainability, and scalability. These are the 5 elements when you apply design thinking into a startup or an entrepreneurship or a business. Desirability is that there is a real need. There are customers for us to put this idea or put this business proposal. Desirability is having sufficient customer segment. Otherwise, it will not work out. Then the feasibility is that technically it is feasible to develop it and implement it and supply to the customer. This is the feasibility part. I will be very brief because many of us know it. Viability is the part connected with economics, whether it is economically possible to market it. And sustainability is that will it continue? So you make a product, invest money, it works for 3 months, 6 months, it dies. Then it is not sustainability. So you have to be very careful about sustainability. You should study. And scalability. Suppose you work for 1 or 2 years, the business may fail. So it should be scalable. Suppose you invent something in Trivandrum, it should be scalable to whole Kerala and maybe next to whole India or whole world. This is the way of scalability. All these concepts should be there. No, I think I will skip the principles. We are running short of time. So these things, I need not explain to this forum. So whatever we tell, very complex, simple things, ultimately we should never forget the customer or stakeholder. A cartoon to demonstrate that these mentalities all time. Now I don't know, people have changed. Social scientists, politicians, all are going to change. Their thinking is going to change. We are learning many things during Corona. It will be the progress of the whole. So I will the lecture.
Make a question, and they can raise their hand and unmute yourself and speak.
Any technical issue is there, or people have not understood anything?
No, I could receive chat, so from many persons, but not the questions. So people could post questions like chat. That is not the issue.
Okay, comments also you can tell. No problem. If there is no question, you can tell the observations. That is also nice. Or the organizers themselves can ask some questions to to start the questions, somebody can trigger a question.
There is a provision to raise their hand in their participant window. If anybody wants to make a question, you can raise their hands. Then we will unmute their mic, then they can speak.
I suggest you can unmute few people and ask them whether they are able to hear or was there any technical problem.
Yeah, one question has come.
Okay, good.
Can you differentiate between ideation and prototype?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's very highly related to design thinking and innovation.
The question is from one Bijo Joseph.
Okay, thank you, Bijo Joseph. It's a very good question. Both are important. Both ideation and prototype is important. Ideation is stage, it is a mental process actually. Ideation is a mental process. See, after understanding the problem thoroughly, after the first two steps, you start generating ideas how to solve it. That is classically told as ideation system, where you use a lot of creativity. You use creative thinking, critical thinking, innovative thinking, apply different thinking processes, brainstorming you do. There may be provocation, there are a large number of techniques. I think there are more than 50 techniques how to generate ideas. So this is a mental process generally. Mental process may be discussion process, verbal, or maybe through pictures. Through so many methods you generate solution ideas. Then you get large number of ideas. Finally, you find some idea is really worth implementing. You select that. That is the ideation process. And after selecting the idea, you have to check whether that idea will really work. See, that is the prototype comes. So both are related, closely related, but it is specifically different. So prototyping, depending on the situation, it may be different. It can be mathematical prototype, and for engineers, they use both mathematical prototype as well as they use the physical prototype so that you can physically test. You can do simulation tests in software if you make a software prototype. So there are a number of prototypes, different types of prototypes you can use depending on the need and depending on the type of product. So, so it will have a more physical and measurable sense, Engineering, especially, you have got a physical models itself. You make a aerodynamic model, or you make a functional model so that you go on testing and prove that these things will work. So that is the importance of prototype and test. These two go together. And each prototype you make it, test it, you start learning what all things can go wrong. And some people has got this problem may miss, especially, I cannot tell any example because that group may get insulted. So I cannot tell any example here, unfortunately, because pseudoscientists, I will tell you, is a general name. Pseudo scientists, what they do, they go through this. Scientists, engineers go through this process. They generate ideas. They are convinced that mentally it will work, but they definitely go for a prototype test and go on improving the product, prove that it will work. They test with customer that they are satisfied with that. Then only they market it. But pseudoscientists, what they do is that once that idea may be great, it may work also, but they will not get into prototype test cycle. They will directly market it to the customers. If you see TV advertisements, paper advertisements, you can see hundreds of, for example. Even after COVID, I have seen number of advertisements like that. I cannot name anybody because they will put
There are two more questions.
Okay, thank you.
There is a comment also from
Yes.
Shweta Harikumar. That was a very wonderful and information session.
Okay.
And the question is from Dr. M.B. Rajesh.
Okay.
How the design consideration are changed during a project if it has become a necessity? How the design considerations have changed during a project if it has become a necessity?
Okay, that is the design process. I have not gone into design management. That is another topic itself. There are experts here sitting here who can do that. It is related to design process also. but I will limit my discussion to design thinking process because that is the appropriate thing. So here, as I told, ideation comes, then prototype comes. In prototype, you make it go on testing. Sometimes you will find that test results may not be useful. And first you have to check whether your prototype is okay. But suppose your prototype is okay and your test is in problem still, you go to the next previous section, that is the ideation section, whether you have taken the right solution or not. Then you have to review that. Suppose you see that there is no problem with that, you have to go to the previous step, whether you have understood properly the customer, whether you have understood the problem with the customer properly. So you have to iterate this. So this iteration process, you have to redesign number of times. So that is the cycle. It is not that you make a idea, you make a design, test it, it itself gets proved. There are many other aspects you have to do. Then as I told, when you go to market, you have to see the other 5 parameters, what I told, right from desirability to scalability. You have to check all these things. If there is a problem anywhere, you have to come back and redesign it. So that is the point. So design is not a simple, straightforward water flow. You have to do iterative process. That is what I want to tell. I don't know whether it is appropriate for the question. The person can ask, whether is it what you wanted or not.
There are 2 more questions.
Okay, good, wonderful.
First question is from Dr. Krishna Umar.
Yes.
How can we identify our organization culture, support the design thinking mindset?
Yeah, it's very, 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 very important. This is the question I used to ask if somebody calls me for this type of discussion. Now this question is asked to me. Organization culture is very complex and is very difficult to understand also. My experience, I will tell you, the complex things, I cannot tell now. It may require another lecture. I attended a world conference on leadership. So the topic was leadership and organization culture. It was a 1 hour lecture. He's a world top expert in the field. 1 hour lecture, beautiful, no? I learned many things. So they give very elaborate definitions of organization culture itself. So at the end, you're big experts. Half of the thing I did not understand. I asked that person who presented, I want a 1 sentence definition of organization culture. Can you tell? So probably he was shocked. But they are such an expert, they gave me simple answer. This is the way we do things here. This is the answer I got. Is that answer sufficient for you? Otherwise, I have to give another 1 hour lecture.
Another question.
Okay.
There are 10 participants from Singapore. One of the participants
Wonderful.
is Evangeline has made a question.
Okay.
What are the challenges of thinking out of the box in these times, especially when we have different groups of Gen X and Y trying to work together? Generation X and Y working together. What are the challenges of thinking out of box in these times?
Okay, one difficulty here is that I told out of box thinking. I told in one of the slides, ethical and legal bounds. Thinking out of box is important for any creativity, innovation activity, but you should never violate the ethical and legal bounds. So if you are within that legal ethical bounds, there is no problem actually. But next problem can come when you think out of box. Can be, some people may not be fully aware of the out of box thinking process. So those who are not trained in that or who are not fully aware of that process, there may be some misunderstanding between problems. So there what is required, people may require some training there, say how to do out of thinking, out of the box thinking. It is very, very important aspect. But if people don't understand each other, it can get into a mess also. We are all experiencing that, the one of the out of thinking box technique is brainstorming. We know in our organization, we do almost every day 1 or 2, 3 brainstorming sessions. I have found 50% of brainstorming sessions fail because people are not trained in that brainstorming. Even though it is very simple told, every organization uses it, every day people use it, we also used it. I have also used it until I retire, no problem, but I understood what is it, what you should do it, what you should not do it after retirement. That is our situation. But I think the current generation is smarter, they know it better. So maybe we have to teach older generation also how to do it, or probably you have to teach both of them. What I know, older generation will be strong in some aspects, but they may have some mind block some other area. Similarly, it is not new generation also this problem is there. They are very strong in some other areas, but there are certain mind blocks, some weak points in new generation also. So what is required? Mutual understanding, mutual training, and that will solve the issue. Otherwise, out of box thinking is the tool you have to use it. There are a number of techniques for that. Maybe some training, some awareness. But one difficulty, what you train all juniors in an organization. But do you train our division heads? Do you train anybody in our group director level? Because I had this problem in my organization. I was put in various, most of our people may have. I was put as a deputy project director. I never got a training. But I asked our HR section, I want a training. If you put me as a deputy project director, I should be trained. Then they may arrange me a training. I attended that. But unfortunately, that training was not effective. So I went my own trouble I took to get trained myself. And I was put as a group director in quality control. I was not professionally trained to be a quality control man. I had not attended any serious training for a group director. I asked them, they told you arrange it. So I myself arranged a training for all people in my my section or my group. I arranged 30 people and arranged an expert from a college, a professor, well-experienced professor. I asked him to do the quality control training in my department, along with my all 30 people in my, right from junior most people to, I sat with them, I got trained. So this is, so individual can take our own time. Sometimes organization may not have a policy or a proper method to train their senior people. Definitely junior people they train, but senior people, some organization do it. ISRO has got a training program of senior executive also, but a specific post, if you ask, many organizations don't have. But world-class organization, they have got a training program, they have got a training policy, they have got a training program for each post. Unless that person is trained into that post, he will not be given that post.
There are two more questions.
Thank you.
One question from Simi from US.
Okay.
How do design thinking and traditional quantitative market research coexist? Can they coexist? How do design thinking
Yes.
and traditional quantitative market research coexist? Can
Market
they coexist?
research.
Quantitative
Yes,
market
yes,
research.
yes.
Traditional quantitative market research.
Okay, now I understood. It has to coexist. It coexists. Market research is a basic input for the first step of the design thinking, that is the empathize. But I told in during presentation, but we should not stop with market research alone. You should be innovative. Market research sometimes will give you wrong data. Maybe 90% it will give you right data. There is 10% chance that it will give you wrong data. I will give right example for that so that it will be more clear. Palio car in India, I think most of our people in my age generation may be knowing, but young generation may not know what is Palio car. It is a good car from Palio, Fiat company. They introduced, here I don't remember, when they introduced that, it was the best car in that small car segment. It was based on a market research in globally. Then they did a specific research in India. So they collected a lot of customer feedback. They sent a number of questionnaires. One questionnaire was, what type of car you want? What do you give importance to as a customer? Cost. People told, no, cost, we are not, okay, we are bothered. Mileage, people don't not bothered. Safety, yes. Safety we want. Luxury fittings, yes, we want. Do we want a study vehicle? Yes. Mileage, most of them are not very serious. Then they marketed. That car was an excellent car. It was a, at that time, all luxury things were there. At that time, I'm not comparing with Benz or I'm telling you a small car. You consider Maruti, such vehicle. It was marketed in that segment. People told mileage not important, but when they marketed, it was they were not able to sell it. I think 1 or 2 years they have to close down that model, because when people are going to buy, then first thing they look for mileage. But when you give a customer feedback form or an interview, they give different thing. So customer survey is market research is important. We should not leave it, but you should not stop with that. That is why innovative design thinking is important. So it has to coexist. One cannot remove other one. Am I clear?
There is one more question
Okay.
from Vijay Joseph.
Yes.
What is your opinion about efficacy of introducing the design thinking in military bar government sector, where the rules and protocols doesn't give so much of room for change?
This is very important question, and it is very complex thing also. But fortunately, I have attended some of the seminars, design thinking programs by government sector in Canada or in Toronto. So I am telling experience. It may be easier to people to understand how to do it. So one seminar I attended, they did not call me. They did not call by design thinking. It is one method of design thinking. They call it Justice Tuesday and Health Justice Tuesday. This happens every Tuesday in different parts of Canada. I attended. I did not know what is it, but I was curious. It was 2 kilometers from where I was staying, so it was in a hospital. So I was curious. They've got a knowledge center also, knowledge institute attached with that. I was really curious. Knowledge institute in a hospital, in a private hospital, they are calling for a seminar. So I went there and attended. So there, who are asking as government agency, probably they have subcontracted to some expert team. What they are asking, the problem they were asking us was, see, there are medically unfit people, they can apply for some pension there. And once you apply, your form is approved by that agency, you will get a good pension. For them, it is small pension, but it is around 75,000 rupees for us. It is a pension amount of many of us. It is showing that he is medically has got some problem, so that he can be. So, but the problem what they raised is that 60% of such applications are rejected. So this government and agencies have found out that it is getting rejected. So government itself want to solve it. So they applied design thinking process without telling that. They told it is a health justice. They want justice in the health sector to the common man. So they asked the people, what are the problems we are facing? How you fill the form? They showed what is the form. It's a very big form, 2-page form. But in our government sector, we may be filling 5-6 pages. They tell 2-page form itself is very complex. So people make some mistakes here and there in the filling. And where they go, what they tell, then your authorized medical officer, they have to show it. They will ask some questions. They have to answer it. And that answers, medical officer will enter. Then it will go to the agency. Then they will first scrutinize. Then it will go to next agency. In this whole process, they find 60% get rejected, 40% get accepted. They wanted to solve that problem. So this is how government sector, in health sector, in Canada, they are solving it. Definitely we can apply it in India also. Only thing, you have to train the design thinking to government officers. May not be, but here we have to be very careful. In military, apply to a Jawan to design thinking, you will have a problem. When you ask him to go to a site and fire, he will start applying design thinking. By the time he applies design thinking, the war will be over and he may be dead. So we have to be very careful. Military, it is very effective design thinking, but to whom you are giving? You definitely have to give to the higher level officers. And you should be properly trained. Not giving theory is not sufficient. You have to tell them how to use it. Like the example I have told you earlier, it can be applied in health sector. It can be applied in government sector. I am telling you my own experience. My land record, I got 201 land record, land. My native place, I got a land. These two places, all the revenue records, all entries are different. My address is different. My name is wrongly typed. I am telling that doesn't matter, sir. You don't worry. Don't bother us. For selling that property, it is not a problem. My name initially is wrongly typed. In some other place, address is wrongly typed. But if you go through revenue records, village office, revenue office, various sectors, I will find all will have different things. I am telling you. And with this, we are getting into a blockchain technology. We are going to apply to our land records. I attended one seminar on blockchain in Kerala. I think it was in UST Global. They were telling how they are going to implement, how much it is beautiful. All problems will be solved. At the end, I was only told this example. I told them, I have this problem. Two land, they are having 3 different offices having different data. How you will apply blockchain? They told, no problem, sir. We'll apply majority logic. All of them clear it. It is cleared. Then nobody can change it except customer. Everybody is voting for that. So your village officer will vote, revenue officer will put, and whom all will vote, I don't know. The majority they will pass. I am out. I have no voice in their decision making, and it goes into blockchain. I can never sell the land. I'm sure the current system.
So that's the end of the questions.
Okay. Thank
Now,
you.
shall we move to the last vote of thanks?
Yes. I will put the next slide. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Now, I invite Sumodh Girija Sundar of CSI to give the vote of thanks. Sumodh Girija Sundar. Okay. Sumodh
Hi,
Girija.
sir. Hi, sir. Yes, right now we had a great session on innovative design thinking for known designers. And we have such a great participation all over the world. So we had a great session, and I express my deep thanks to all of the participants on behalf of all technical organizations. And next, the person who delivered us a wonderful session and informative for the last hour. And we got the best insights from the highly experienced personality who excelled in design developments and project management. For that, I thank Mr. Francis EJ on behalf of all technical organizations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. And this is our 4th talk on Internet Society weekly webinar series. For making this into a reality, I should thank all the coordinating organizations. That is our IEEE Kerala section. And the next one is the Internet Society of India Trivandrum chapter, and the Computer Society of India Trivandrum chapter, Project Management Institute Trivandrum Kerala chapter, the Institute of Engineers Kerala State Center, Vakka Maulavi Foundation Trust of Trivandrum, and finally the IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society Kerala chapter. And once again, I should say thanks to all the participants on the speaker and the organizations. And thanks again, once again, and a happy evening. Thank you.
Thank you all. See you for the next panel discussion. Professionals in service of the community. There are 4 persons. 1 person from Bangalore, T. Deepak Mathur, Director at IEEE Region 10. Professor Mini Shaji Thomas, Director of NIT Trichy. She is from Trichinapalli. Dr. Sambat Kumar Veeraraghavan, Chair, IEEE Site. He is from US. And Dr. Amarnath Raja, Past Chair, HAC, IEEE. He is from Trivandrum. So see you all next Wednesday, same time. Bye.
Okay, thank you all.